Well, Rob, I think I know where you stand on the standing funds issue.
Yeah.
Basically, you're against them.
Well, we're against it in the process because it means that we think the agency and end client are open to risk. Because the problem you've got is it's really hard to segment one piece of your business for one agency and how are other people in the business, because an umbrella company faces many recruitment businesses. So if we take the example that what typically can happen is that Crown money, HMRC, PAYE, VAT, is being used to fund referrals or a mechanism to increase numbers of contractors in that pool. And we think that's unethical. And we've seen high-profile cases where umbrellas or workforce management companies have used that money in that way, used it for their own expenditure, and then collapsed. So what's happened there is, of course, the recruitment business is out of pocket because the workers haven't been paid. The workers are all not engaged because they're blissfully unaware of anything. They've just been getting paid every Friday. And it's a real mess. So it's a challenge to the umbrella industry because being paid when paid is an interesting financial mechanism and something that needs clarity in the whole of the recruitment industry before we can actually address it in the employment space. But we think inherently it's risky. We pay out, for instance, when people don't get paid. So if a recruitment business fails to pay Parasol, then we will pay out our workers. If a worker doesn't engage on his full 336 hours, then we'll pay that money out to him to make it up. So we do what's required. What we won't do is use Crown money to give another recruitment business an advantage, because what tends to happen is that extension of credit gives your competitors a cash flow advantage, which is fine, and you know that's okay. There's nothing illegal in it or anything in it, but of course that's difficult for us when we're dealing with a multiple set of recruitment businesses, because you know, if we're giving 40 days, 60 days, 90 days terms to a recruitment business, then that becomes self-perpetuating. Referrals are sometimes linked to it. You know, it all becomes quite a complex and messy piece of business, really. It's not very transparent at times.
Lisa, what's been your experience with the standing funds, paid when paid issues that have been evolving over the last 2 years?
Well, I totally agree with Rob. I mean, you can't do it. If you're paying out when the money's coming in, then fair enough. But you know, as you said, what you're basically doing is giving an advantage to certain agencies. And I think to a degree, some unscrupulous agencies will use umbrella companies to a degree to fund their own businesses, because they know that the umbrella companies are dependent on the agencies. So they will come to you with more and more outrageous requests, which you know are going to put you in a risky position. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it will be the contractor who suffers, because you know, an umbrella company has got to mitigate financial risk in the same way as any other business will do. But it's that there is just one pool of money at the end of the day that we're all trying to feed from, and that's not going to change. However much legislation changes, or however much one agency tries to take control or bring something new or whatever, there's only a finite amount of money, and that's what we've all got to work with.